when my son, Alpha, y'all usually see him running around here, was diagnosed with autism last year, the mountain of uncertainty and grief in a way, and acceptance for our current situation, I knew at that time that I needed help that wasn't my own.
I have to say the mountain that I spoke to being a mother is when my daughter was born prematurely. She was born with all kind of complications. The doctors would say one thing, but I heard them from a medical standpoint because I had to receive it from a medical standpoint. But I didn't have to receive it from a spiritual side because I know that I serve a God who sits high and who could take the impossible and make possible. So sometimes when we go through things in our life as a mother with our children, we don't have to accept what's going on, but we can speak to that mountain and God can turn that situation around.
So the relationship with my mom helped shape my faith walk is actually kind of interesting because for most of my childhood, my mom was not involved in the church or with God, right? But once she got sober and got saved, she similar to me, when I got sober, just jumped right in. So she jumped right in, became an evangelist. So she would always, I remember my mom's big thing was always walking through the house, doing this number. She was always tearing things down. And I remember she used to just speak to me about that, you gotta tear stuff down, tear it out the atmosphere, tear this, tear that. So watching the example of how to actually move in Christ, not just go to church, how to bring it home, how to take control of your life with Christ. She's definitely influenced that, a big part of my life.
So she had many challenges, but she never gave up on us. And I just love the fact that God, all the prayers that she prayed for me when I was just doing my thing and I didn't want to do what she wanted me to do, but God allowed her to see me saved a year before she died.
Mother and my dad, they never just sent us to church. They always took us. And with that we had family time and we had prayer and devotions. And my mother always led by example. And so that kind of stuck with me, that in her spiritual walk, she could lead by example and help us along the way to not doubt and not mistrust, but trust and lean on the Lord like she did.
They depended on prayer. They came together as a family and prayed, and they had faith. Their spiritual side was so awesome to me that no matter how the situation may appear, or how sick the individual may have been, they trusted God. They had faith. They resorted in prayer.
I was taught to carry a prayer journal because what that does, number one, it stamps the season that you're in. And so it shows you all the different things. What was important in my 20s is definitely not important now, but He's the same God. Not only does it track the season you're in, but it shows you how God has made a way, how He's come through generation after generation after generation.
So if there's advice I would have to give with being a mother, first of all, you always want to pray over your children.
Learn to know Him, learn to trust Him, and even as a young parent, you can make it. If you can put your confidence in Him and show them how you can nurture them through God's way, not your way, it makes all the difference in their lives.
Let them see you still press in and seek His face even when it doesn't make sense in your home, in your life. Because as mothers, we have such a connection to our children, even children that we haven't birthed, they can sense when something is going on, but still continue to show them that when you don't have the answers, you can point them to the one who does.
As a mother, I would say my advice would be to relax and to just, as much as you're learning about God, extend that knowledge onto your child. So just as I'm saying, introduce him in your daily household and pray with your child around. Let them see you vulnerable. Let them see you read your word.
I would tell them that prayer is the key. In any situation, whether small or big, God can still intervene.
The advice I would give is seasons change, but in every season, God is faithful and he's there. And so look for him in the middle of that season and know that he's with you. And then it has to change. All things is really going to work towards our good. And so it won't always be like this. This too shall pass. But in every season, God is there and he's present and he is willing and ready to really hear and be intimate with you, have that relationship with you.